The U.S. southern border is turning into a bigger issue than we were ever expecting. Some people said that this is going to be a massive issue coming into this election year. However, it is now turning into a nationwide crisis. We're seeing some cities are having to cut back on what they are able to give as far as benefits because they have to try and afford other shelters, more food for illegal immigrants. But we're also now starting to see weapons entering into the United States and being spread around millions and millions of people. This is a huge concern. On top of methamphetamine is still coming into the United States. People are trying to smuggle it in. We are now seeing shipments hiding under carrots and fruit and other things like that, making their way into the United States. Again, the U.S. southern border is a disaster. I'm going to break down what's going on and what we should look forward to in just the near future. All I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. The crisis at the U.S. southern border is nothing new, but it is now starting to amplify. More and more trouble is coming from the U.S. southern border, and it does not look like anytime soon we're going to see this resolved through Congress. What we know, according to the U.S. Border Patrol chief, he's calling the southern border a national security threat, citing 140,000 migrants evaded capture. If 140,000 people are evading capture, this is just the amount of people that we know of. What about those that were never seen? What about those that we never knew were even entering into the United States? There's more of those than the people that are actually seen. And again, we can't be 100% accurate with 140,000. That's a lot of people. But something that's going on now is we are seeing Texas, as well as many other states, are trying to help Texas and provide some additional security. One of the things that Texas has been doing is trying to put up a razor wire along the Texas-Mexico border. However, what we are now seeing is migrants are trying to cut the razor wire, and they're attempting to lead dozens of people into the United States illegally. Well, just recently, the Texas National Guard had to stop people from cutting the razor wire because every time they cut the razor wire, the Texas National Guard has to go back and they have to fix it. It takes time, it takes money, and this is what Texas is arguing, that how come we cannot arrest these people? How come we cannot deport these people when we find this, when we see it? Because they are costing the state more money. This is also why the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, is saying that he is going to continue to send people to New York, to Chicago, and to Denver to ensure that they are getting out of Texas so that it is not Texas's responsibility to continue to pay for these people. But, like I said earlier, methamphetamine and weapons are starting to make their way into the United States a little more often. Look at this. It says millions of dollars worth of meth was found under carrots. This is according to the Border Patrol. Now, what's interesting about this is not the first time. We have seen meth try to enter into the United States through fruit. People will cut open cars, cut open car seats, and stuff illegal drugs and legal pretty much anything in there. They'll do that with money as well. We see this all the time. It's nothing new. But concern right now is that the borders are overwhelmed. There's less people going through this security check. There's more people going through the security check. There's less people conducting the checks because they now have to pretty much fan out. They are now seeing less people that are doing these, and so more people are making their way through, which means there's more drugs entering the United States and hitting our streets. But yet, we're not doing much about it. The big one is this story. It says Mexican cartels use U.S. border to arm themselves with military-grade weapons. It says the cache of weapons include SCAR rifles, Barrett 50 caliber rifles, M249s rifles, and 1919 rifles, according to federal authorities. That was just from the other day. Now, what's interesting about this is what we continue to see at the border. Nothing is being done. I want to read you this. I want to read you the first couple right here. It says federal authorities toppled a major gun trafficking operation intended to arm Mexican drug cartels with over 100 military-grade firearms, according to court documents. It says 5 men were arrested on March 20th and accused of illegally buying weapons throughout Texas to allegedly smuggle them across the border. What's very interesting about this is these people are coming, many of them are sneaking into the United States. They are trying to buy paperwork. They're using illegal money from illegal activities to buy weapons, and then they're taking them back down to the U.S. or down to Mexico. And what's crazy about this is Mexico is now saying that they are going to fight the cartels. It's on them. They do not need the United States. They are going to do it themselves because Mexico is the priority. It has to be Mexico. It cannot be the United States first. Now, what's interesting, though, is if the United States is going to pretty much just allow this to happen and allow Mexico to sit back and allow people to continue to enter into the United States, well, the U.S. has to do something. And here's the problem. If the United States decides to really put a clamp on this whole operation, stop illegal immigrants from entering into the United States, and allow Texas and other states to arrest illegal immigrants and people that are crossing illegally, what's going to happen is all those people are going to be stuck on the Mexico side of the border. And once this happens, it's going to be Mexico's problem. So, here's why this is so interesting at this time. We are getting more reports that from many officials are saying, do not travel to Mexico. If you're going to travel to Mexico, do not go towards the northern border of Mexico. Don't go to Tijuana and some of those Ciudad Juarez, some of those cities close to the U.S.-Mexico border, because those cities will be the most dangerous. If you want to go to Mexico, go further south. Stay away from the border, because if you're close to the border, again, people are going to try to use you to smuggle things into the United States, especially if you're a U.S. citizen. So, that's what we know at this time. I know there's a lot of people wondering if anything's going to happen. I look at this every single day and just consider or think about, what is President Biden even considering? Is he going to do some type of executive action? According to the latest reports, the answer is no. He's not going to do that because it would make more sense for him to wait, and hopefully Democrats win over the Senate, the House, and the presidency. But Republicans, they're doing the exact same thing, hoping that Republicans win the Senate, the House, and the presidency. So at this time, it's pretty much just a waiting game. So as we get more information, I promise I'll fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.